I still ask God questions, and I'm like, but I feel like ChatGPT could give me a quick thought right now.
I feel like you're one of those people that would probably want to go out on a date and ask AI what you're supposed to wear, what you're supposed to...
No, it's not that deep. I wouldn't ask ChatGPT what I should wear.
Right.
But I was that person who would ask emotional dilemmas, talk about things that happened with a friend where I was like, oh, am I crazy, or did this person take me for granted, or like with someone I had a conversation with and I was upset about or something. And I realized that it was taking a space that it wasn't meant to take,
Right.
like the place of the Holy Spirit in my life. And just to make that practical as well, personally, there was a time that I was struggling to pray, and I asked God about it. Like, thank God ChatGPT was not there at the time, because I would have asked.
How much of AI do you use, like ChatGPT? I feel like you're one of those people that would probably want to go out on a date and ask AI what you're supposed to wear, what you're supposed to...
No, it's not that deep.
What you should say, and a couple other things,
I give it to AI because it's so easy to become dependent when something is sorting things out for you, right? When something's answering all the questions that you need answered or solving all the problems that you need solved. But I realized that it was, and to be fair, I was that person. Well, I wouldn't ask ChatGPT what I should wear,
right?
But I was that person who would ask emotional dilemmas, right? I would talk about things that happened with a friend where I was like, okay, you know, am I crazy, or did this person take me for granted, right?
Yeah.
Or like with someone I had a conversation with and I was upset about or something. And I realized that it was taking a space that it wasn't meant to take, right? The place of the Holy Spirit in my life.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I would ask God, like, okay, did I overreact in this situation? Should I apologize to this person?
Yeah.
Or like, what should I say? Should I take this job? Should I, is this a viable decision to make?
Yeah.
Right? And it was taking that space, and I decided to put a pause on it. So now I usually...
Was it easy to put the pause?
It's still not, because I still ask God questions, and I'm like, but I feel like ChatGPT could give me a quick thought right now.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
The way human condition is.
Yeah.
And then the way school is programmed.
Yeah.
Formal education. Mm-hmm. Whenever a question is asked, you need to have an answer. Yeah. Like ASAP.
Yeah.
And then that has kind of like influenced our lifestyle choices. Like, even when we're talking to God, and we expect that, it's going to just give us the answer ASAP. Like, you just ask God, what is it about this thing? Yeah. And then you expect an answer immediately.
But the thing is, discernment naturally takes time.
It takes time.
And patience.
Yeah, but we don't understand.
We don't have that. I don't have that.
We don't
I
have
need
that.
the Spirit of God.
Yeah. Because based on what you were saying, I remember there was a time where what they teach us in church is whenever you're processing, like you're feeling something negative, don't be too quick to say that, oh, these are my thoughts. You first need to understand where the thoughts are coming from. Is it from God or is it from the enemy and all that? So I would sit down and ask, or maybe I'm confused about something. I would just pause and ask, what are you doing, God? Like, what are you doing? Like, because what you're doing is what I want to be doing. Yeah. But these days, I just go to ChatGPT.
Yeah. Like it's so easy, so quick.
It's so easy. So
and the way ChatGPT will whine you before you...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's such a profound question.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering that. That takes clarity and boldness to ask. And you're just like, actually, I'm such a smart person.
Yeah. And then with the advent of this, there's a talk back feature now where you can literally talk and then it's talking to you and you feel like you're talking to a real human being. And I'm thinking there are a lot of people that make lifestyle decisions based on what ChatGPT tells them. And then you feel like it's valid. There's a lot of people going through stuff.
Yeah.
They want therapy. They can't afford therapy.
Yeah.
And they just go to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So that was why I asked the question, like, how much dependence do you place on AI?
Yeah. I mean, right now, I only ask ChatGPT research-based questions. So if I want to ask Google, but I would like ChatGPT to pull together all the sources for me on something that I need to research for work, or if I don't want to put so many numbers in my calculator, I'd ask ChatGPT, but you have to ask it like 3 times because sometimes ChatGPT can be wrong. But yeah, now I only streamline it to questions that I wouldn't, not like emotional questions. Or not philosophical questions. So the thing about ChatGPT is it will tend to what you're already kind of pushing it towards.
Yeah.
So I did a test once. So I asked ChatGPT, the first time I asked ChatGPT, XXX would be a good name for me, wouldn't it? And ChatGPT was like, yes, this would be an actually good name for you because this and that and that and that. Yeah. Then I closed the chat, deleted it, and opened another chat and said, XXX would be a very good name for wouldn't be a good name for me, would it? And ChatGPT said, I totally agree. That would be an awful name. And another test was I tried speaking to ChatGPT from an atheist point of view.
Okay.
And I tried speaking to ChatGPT from a Christian point of view. So when I asked ChatGPT about theology from a Christian point of view, it pointed to me as though it was the truth. But when I asked from an atheist point of view, it pointed it to me as an opinion that Christians have, right? Also, the Christians opine that the theologians opine that this or this is what I found on this. So it made it look like, okay, this is the knowledge that exists on this topic. It may not necessarily be the truth. However, when I asked as a Christian, it pointed as though it was the truth. So ChatGPT can be very,
confusing,
one way or the other, right? And I even had an issue with a friend of mine where I kind of dissected it at the time from my point of view, and ChatGPT was on my side. So I was like, wait, what if she's doing the same thing? So I went and I told her side of the story as much as I could, and ChatGPT was on her side. I was like, bro, you're trying to separate me. So I think that we should definitely I know ChatGPT can be easy and AI in general can make things a lot easier and more comfortable, to just fall into that. But I think we should have our eyes wide open.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like the way AI is, the way ChatGPT is to a lot of people, where they depend on it so much, and I'm also guilty of that. I feel like that's the same way you as a lifestyle content creator is. There are a lot of people that come on Instagram to seek validation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the conversation we were having with David King the other day. And he made a post about blocking people that stress you so much. And
I'm sure people got confident to be like, you know what?
Personally,
blocked.
I've been struggling with blocking someone, and that just gave me that. I did block the person. That was all the validation. That was all the validation I needed.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like that come on Instagram just to seek validation, and so you're like digital. I don't want to say digital Jesus. I don't want to say.
Oh, please.
There's a line like that in one of John Bellion's songs. Yeah. I don't want. I don't want to say digital Jesus, but a lot of people look up to you. Like they see your lifestyle, but I don't even think that is the entirety of your lifestyle. Do you like put a limit to what you post on social media?
Definitely. Definitely. I think even now, as I'm veering more towards lifestyle content, it's very easy to look like you know me or you know my life, or because I just talk and I talk very naturally. I talk like I'm talking to a friend, but there's so much about what's going on behind the scenes that I would rather not
talk about.
Yeah, because I think we were talking about it yesterday with Salem and King, like, to people, they think they know you, but
they actually don't know you.
Yeah, or also like you're just a topic, you're just their gist.
Yeah.
So there's that need to protect yourself, because at the end of the day, you share your trauma and people use it as gist.
Right.
But I digress.
Right.
Back to being digital.
Jesus, right.
I think, that's so true, and I think that's why I feel a lot of responsibility towards what I do.
Right.
When I was churning out a lot of Christian content on Instagram, I still am, but when I was actively doing it, I took it so personally.
Okay.
Like I would send almost like anything I'm not sure about, or anything that I do not feel like, okay, this is 100% I can defend that this is from the Word of God. I would send it to like my pastors, right? I'll send it to a pastor or a mentor and be like, hey, this is what I created. This is what I'm looking to post. What are your thoughts? And there are a lot of videos that did not make it out, because I asked a pastor and he was like, look, you could have said this better, or, this is another view on this. And I'm just like, okay, I'd rather do it better than post it as is, because there's that responsibility. I know people, you can say all you want that people should go open their own Bibles, right, and read. But at the end of the day, a lot of times you're on that platform for a reason, because there are people who won't, right? And, when we get to answer for what we've done, you're going to answer for whether you did it carelessly or you took the time and effort to ensure that you are telling people the truth and nothing but the truth.
The truth,
And I think also there's so many cases in social media where the general culture has influenced what we think and what we say and what we do in ways that are necessarily not good. Right? Because you'd see a lot of people get angry or flared up about certain things, and I question in myself, like, are you actually angry, or is it politically cool and correct to be angry about this thing? Right? Are these your thoughts, or are these just politically correct thoughts? Right? You see someone being cancelled on social media. We said this yesterday, and like they're cancelled for something that you think is not bad, but like you cannot talk because everyone is cancelling them. So there's this mass contribution when it comes to determining like what's okay, what's socially acceptable. And people subconsciously align to that. I mean, that's what media is for. Media shapes culture inadvertently, right? And there's a need to just be conscious and be like, who am I? What do I believe? What are my values? Because if not, you're going to subconsciously be dragged by what's popularly accepted. And that may be wrong. That may not be the real thing. I think of how lots of Jews, this is controversial, where were put in concentration camps, and there were people who thought that was right because that was the popular thing in their society, right? There were people who were slaves for hundreds and hundreds of years, and there were people who thought it was right to treat human beings like less than, because that was what was generally accepted. So there's a need to think for yourself and decide, you know what, is this right? What are my values as a person, and what do I measure my values by, right? Rather than just being part of the herd or being, following the crowd.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense. I think about my industry and as an actor, where an actor plays a role so well, probably a bad person or a good person, and you kind of like just characterize them. This is who this person is. Like maybe you run into them randomly at the airport or something. It's the last thing you saw of them. Maybe they played a bad person in the film. That's what you think about. Like this is you just characterize them like. And in actuality, if it's a case where the actor plays a good person, you might meet the person and you see that this person is actually not a good person. In real life, and it's for real. So my question to you now is, you put a lot of content out there, lifestyle, this and how much of that do you practice in real life? Or you just do it so that, oh, I want to preach to these people, this is how they should live life. And how much of that do you practice?
I practice what I preach. I would say so, by the Spirit of God who helps me every day. But here's the thing, right? It's one thing to know something, and it's another thing to be what you know. Right? A lot of people are called to, A lot of people are called to be public figures, right? Or they have it in them, or yeah, they are called to that sphere of influence because of the gifts that God has given them.
Yeah.
And that could be creativity, writing, or speaking. Some people will open their mouths and talk impromptu, and everybody here will think that they can do whatever they said they could do. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that first and foremost it's the gifts that differentiates a man.
Right.
And a lot of times that doesn't always convert to who the person is. Because like you said, I have met a couple of people who I was so excited to meet because of who I felt they were, because of what they knew, rather. And it didn't turn out like that. However, it doesn't mean that what they are saying is not true.
Yeah.
So your words would still change people. Transform generations.
Yeah.
But who you are is who you are. Right. And I think when it comes to me specifically, I've learned to separate those things. So as much as God is teaching me things, and I have the responsibility to share the truth, I know that I'm also on my own journey of transformation. And there's nothing I hate more than the thought of being a hypocrite.
Right.
So I wouldn't like posture myself as someone who's doing something if I'm not already doing it. But I also don't put myself on that much pressure to, one, withhold the truth because I've not completely actualized it in my life. Right? For example, if I will advocate for praying hours on end, right? I would advocate for praying without ceasing. But I wouldn't tell you that I pray 8 hours every day. Right? I know it is good for you. I would love to have a retreat where I do that. But yeah, prayer consistently can be something that you have to push yourself to do every day. And it's something that I push myself to do every day. Right? So I think that there's that separation in my life where I'm like, you know what? I surrender to God. God is the Lord of my life, and there's a lot that He's taking me through. But at the same time, there's a part of me that He is using to transform other
people.
And I'll not allow, anything to take away from that. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of prayer, that's actually a very powerful thing for you to say. I don't know if you remember the last conversation we had where I was talking about revelation. A friend of mine had called me and he said that he was struggling with praying for long hours. Like, why does he get tired of prayer and this thing? And I don't even know where the words came from. I just told him that, guy, what you need is revelation. When I made reference to, while the angels, the elders, and the saints, there's something they see. That makes them come back. And just bow, cast their crowns, and just say, Holy, holy, Lord God Almighty. There's something they see every time, and it never gets old.
And just to make that practical as well, personally, there was a time that I was struggling to pray, and I asked God about it. Like, thank God ChatGPT was not there at the time, because I would have asked him. But I asked God about it, and He was like, you need to study your Bible more. And when I went back to that, I saw improvement. So yes, to what you said about revelation, it does push worship.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like as much as, just the same way it pushes worship, prayer, and everything, I think it should be the cornerstone of our lifestyle choices. Like every choice we choose to make, every choice we, however we choose to live our lives, this is the kind of clothes I wear, this is the kind of things I say, this is how I want people to feel when they meet me. Everything is in the Word. Like the Bible just explains everything. So, but there's a lot of voices out there. If you go on Instagram, you see different things that contradict. Well, if you're not careful, if you don't have a mind of your own, what you see on social media can literally just turn your life upside down. Because you feel like, oh, this person has 500K followers. They have to make sense. If they are saying this, that means it makes sense. And it does not make any sense. So the Word is still like, it's the litmus test for whatever lifestyle choice you make. I saw a post that you made. I think you were going out on a date and you're trying to like pick the right dress.
Did you watch it to the end?
I'm not sure I did.
See, that's the thing, because after that video, people can ask me, oh, how was your day? How was your day? I specifically put at the end, guys, I'm lying. Oh, I'm not going on any rubbish dates. Why did I put that online? Like,
I mean, because you said you met the guy in church.
Yeah, that was a fabricated story so that people will watch my dress up outfits and go and buy the brand.
Right. Oh, it was for
it was a brand deal.
It was a brand deal.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't watch I didn't watch the videos to the end. But the point is, you come across as a very fashionable person.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a compliment actually. Yeah. How much of Bible influences that?
Well, I don't think the Bible specifically says what you should wear.
But I mean, it speaks of modesty, right?
Yeah, modesty, yeah, and everything. So yeah, I think my lifestyle and who I think I am influences how I dress a lot. I think fashion, I have thoughts about this. I think fashion is largely dependent on, like, it originates from identity.
Right.
It's not just an aesthetic. A quick example that I can remember off the top of my head is the Gothic style, right? It's not just a dark aesthetic. It originated somewhere from the Victorian era. Okay. That was one of the main inspirations for the Gothic style. And it was around mourning. Like,
right.
It was around mourning attire, right? It originated from mourning attire because, mortality rate was quite high, right? And, it was a dark time. It was filled with sorrow, and their outfits depicted that. A main inspiration was also punk music.
Okay, yeah.
Very rebellious, very different, very dark as well. So a lot of that, and you hear like the lyrics, oh, everybody's fake, everything is worthless.
Yeah,
like that, right? Very depressive. So that really originates from who you are, from the identity. It has a root. It's not merely an aesthetic. So the things that we wear should kind of represent who we are as people, right? Yeah. Not just what we think looks good on Pinterest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's an inspiration for how I style myself as well, who I think I am as a person. I think my style is very, very effortless and minimal, but chic. I like to be very comfortable, so like loose outfits, and I take like basics, modern basics, and like elevate them. And I think I also take things or pieces that could traditionally be seen as masculine, and I make them feminine. Like I add a feminine touch with the way that I style it, or even just with me, who I am as a person, because you see my hair, you see my makeup, you see sometimes my nails, and it adds a feminine touch to it. So if I was to define who I am based on how I express myself, is that and one thing that I like to stand out. I don't like to blend in, right? So yeah, I think if I do say so myself, that I am a beautiful person, right? Yeah. And I stand out in any room that I walk in, and my outfits depict that. Why they depict who I am.
Do you ever wear something and you contemplate like, will God be proud of me for this? Do you ever? Are there times like you want something and you feel like, nah, this doesn't represent my...
Fortunately not, but that's because my choice of outfit is usually on the comfortable side.
Right. Oh, okay.
Right, so I lean towards baggy a lot.
Right.
And I don't know if that's because I don't know if that's an internal complex that I have.
Right.
This is not a therapy session, so I won't unpack that here. But yeah, I don't think I've had to deal with that a lot, thinking, oh yeah, that. I think I'm very happy. If I'm wearing a small top, I'm wearing a big trouser. If I'm wearing small trousers, I'm wearing big shirts. So like something has to give me space to breathe, like, So yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm also curious. What do you think? What is your style, and what do you think it says about who you are?
I don't know what my style is. Honestly, I really don't know. I have some people that I take inspiration from. There's a particular actor that I love how he dresses, that I try to not emulate, But yeah, I try to take inspiration from him when I have something special. Because most times I'm home, except maybe when I'm on set. And then when you're on set, you don't get to dictate what you wear. Like it's the costumier that tells you this is what you're gonna wear for this scene. So I don't really know how to define my style honestly, but I just like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And the thing, there was someone that told me one time in church that I have this prideful aura. Like when I just walk.
I think you have a classic man aesthetic.
Oh, right.
I don't think the way you dressed yesterday, and even kind of now with the polo shirt and everything, I think, yeah, that's something that will sit perfectly on you. Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
1980s black man type, classic man type act.
Maybe. I'll probably just lean towards that now that you said it. I'll probably just lean towards that. Yeah. So that's it, honestly. But I don't know how much of what you wear dictates your aura. That just makes people feel like.
See, that's the thing. It's the other way around. It's your aura that dictates what you wear, right? Because two people could be wearing the same thing, but it feels different. The way one person wore it, it feels maybe more feminine or more flowery or more, plain. It depends on like the person and what they bring to it, right?
Yeah.
I could wear, I don't know, I could wear, what do you guys wear? A jalamia.
Yeah.
And I still look
Really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and someone else could wear it and
not look good at all.
not even not look good, but just have a different vibe to them. So yeah.
Yeah. I think I get that.
Yeah.
So just on a final note, as a lifestyle content creator, what is the goal really? Like, do you want people to live the way you live, or you just wanted to take pieces that they feel like, oh, this one works for me, and I leave this? Or do you like, when you're creating your content, what do you want people to take from everything that you create?
I think that I have thoughts on this. I think that when people say you only live once.
Yeah.
It's popularly said when people want to
do terrible
yeah, exactly. Want to party,
make terrible life decisions.
Yeah, do things for the plot. But I only live once, and I take that very heavily, right? I want to be on my deathbed having known that I made a mark on the world, and not just a mark that speaks to me, that points to me, but changes people's hearts, their minds, their brain chemistry, how they see the world, how they relate to each other, just the way that they think and the way that they show up every day. Like I want to be a vessel that shapes that in a positive way. And I think that's what I want my content to do. And everything that I create. One day the movies that I make, that's what I want them to bring families together. I want them to make people see things from other people's point of view, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's it. And I think that, anyone who is creating and who looks completely different from what they are creating, I think there needs to be more of a responsibility on you to say, look, I cannot put out a version of myself that is unreal.
Yeah, that is not consistent with who I am.
There's that responsibility because, like it or not, even though your words are the ones changing people, your life also has a role to play in that. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Your lifestyle shows up whether or not you realize it.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's left to me, like, bruh, I want to leave this world and hear well done, in every single aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's something in Proverbs, Solomon, we all know Solomon, and how when God asked him what he wanted, he said he wanted wisdom. And you would think that Solomon just thought about it like wisdom is, it's just wisdom, and he just thought about it himself. But there's a part in Proverbs, I can't remember where exactly in particular, but I know that I saw it there, where it was saying, as a child, in the hands of my mother and my father, I found out that this is not the exact words. I'm just like using my own words. I found out that wisdom is the most important thing. So it makes a lot of sense that later on in his life, when God asked him what he wanted, was able to say wisdom. So it didn't come from, oh, I just know that it is wisdom. It's from a place of somebody had poured something inside of it. And I feel like as a content creator, you actually pour inside people. There's a lot of things that you post. You don't know how much impact it does in people's lives that is going to lead to them making a decision sometime later on in their life. So it's very important that every content creator, the people that are doing it now, the people that are about to start, that they are very intentional about what they are putting out. And do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, like putting yourself out there is not for you. Like you're doing, it's for an overarching purpose. And if you're not conscious of what that purpose is, it's easy for it to slip into something that is not beneficial for humanity. Right? But if you're conscious of it, you should know, okay, when people want to start projects, they're going to look for the people who are doing it now. What are they going to take from this? Are they going to take, are they going to see that it's possible to do it excellently? Are they going to see that it's possible to do it well and good? Are they going to see that it's possible to portray light and still be successful, right? What are they going to take? Like, there's that responsibility. And I think that the world is determined by a lot more than what we can see. And whether or not you realize it, you're picking a side. So you need to be conscious of the side that you're picking.
That's very powerful. Thank you very much, Idy.
Thank
for coming
you for
around.
This conversation.
Yeah, it's been a great one.
And
I
hope we get to talk more.
Yeah, me too. I really hope so.
Of course.
I hope we get to make films together.
I hope so too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.